Yeah. Yo. I found this random video right here and I want to see what they talking about. I ain't gonna lie, so I'm gonna do a quick reaction to it. Same as always, you feel me? This is the only way to settle this debate. I already see Michael Jordan in the front. It gotta be some GOAT debate, some type of shit. So I don't know what they got. I don't know what he got going on. I think it's from Jimmy Howard. I've seen his videos before. He be making some good ass videos. First time I'm reacting to one, so let's get to it.
Ranking NBA players is useless, but it's also really fun. Every NBA fan at some point has created their own ranking. It's like our official pastime at this point. And with the game as data-driven and awards and accomplishments as absolute as the NBA has, you'd think ranking players would be a fairly simple task. But despite the countless efforts to make a flawless, coherent all-time ranking of NBA players,
everybody else depends on different shit, you feel me? Like, I ain't gonna lie, I take everything in consideration. Any context I can get for why this is like that, why that it's like that, I use it. I'm not going. I don't go off of just stats alone, and I don't go off of eye test alone. You know what I'm saying, but one thing I do say, I do like eye test over stats.
Some players rank too high, others too low.
Especially with stats being mad inflated right now, because of how the NBA, how the league is being run right now, where everything is just offense.
Came last week from Bleacher Report when they released their top 100 NBA players ever list, a ranking.
But I didn't even bother making a react to that Bleacher Report shit. I don't know whose list was worse, Bleacher Report or ESPN, bro. Those two sites are not good to go see what's the ranking of these players, bro. Hell no. Bleacher Report's fucking retarded, man. Like all the niggas that voted for it, straight retarded.
Like everyone else that made an attempt before them, this list was not accurate, not good enough.
The worst list.
Why is it so difficult to make an all-time ranking that we can all agree on? I mean, we all have our own opinion, our own personal bias. Is it even possible to make such a list? And if we could, how would we even create it? Well, believe it or not, there is a method that we can use to rank every player in NBA history with shockingly good accuracy. It doesn't use any numbers or data, no formulas or advanced metrics. It is a method way simpler than you would ever think, and yet manages to get results with nearly 100%.
I hate how people like Bleacher Report and shit like these companies, bro, they use AI to literally come up with these randomizing numbers, my nigga, that are fucking straight bullshit.
And accuracy, even crazier, we actually use this method all the time.
I want to see what he's talking about. Well, what makes it so simple? Like, what's the method that you use to make it so simple?
Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. Whether you're looking for concert tickets or the best seats at the game, SeatGeek has it all.
I ain't watching it. Come on.
Last week, Bleacher Report released their top 100 NBA players ever list. And to absolutely no one's surprise, people were not happy about it. Among some of the more glaring complaints about Bleacher Report's list include Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the now MVP, Finals MVP, and
we all know the biggest bullshit.
List. Jason Tatum landing at 93.
Yo, how is Jason Tatum 93? Holy shit, bro. Oh my god,
ranked
bro.
Ahead of players like Chris Paul and Kawhi Leonard, and of course Kobe Bryant, falling outside of the top 10.
The biggest one right there.
Staff of NBA
Steph Curry's not better than Kobe.
And editors, the results
Stop
of
doing
this comprehensive
drugs. I'm telling you right now, like kids, grown-ups, anybody. It's mainly kids. Stop doing drugs, bro. Stop doing drugs.
And annoyed.
I understand you didn't get to watch Kobe, man. And you watch these fucking stupid ass stats and
why it's so difficult,
stop doing drugs.
We first need to understand why every
Steph Curry's not better than
no
Kobe,
how
bro.
thought out it is, how
as
logical
cold as Steph Curry is, he's not better than Kobe, bro.
Always falls short. One popular approach that some fans and experts have taken over the years is the formula method.
Kawhi Leonard is one of the top 20 greatest players of all time. I don't know how the fuck he even. Jason Tatum 93 is insane.
Objectively accurate ranking. A method
SJ, I can understand SJ because he won the championship and won his MVP. Probably already passed the fact that they already made the list. I could kind of understand. Luka Doncic should not be higher than Jason Tatum. It's as simple as that, my nigga.
analysts,
shit,
and a
even
man
Kyrie
credited with
Irving being
creating
that
some of the first advanced
higher
NBA
than fucking
statistics,
Jason Tatum.
created a
Insane.
formula to determine his all-time top 100
Kyrie's one of the
list.
greatest
His
players to ever touch
criteria
a basketball.
being a point-based system that put varying levels of weight into factors like MVP shares, Finals MVPs, win shares, and career box plus minus.
All of this is straight
a
bullshit.
formula that
All of that is
resulted
straight
in
bullshit.
LeBron as the GOAT, Jordan second, Kareem third, Duncan fourth, and Karl Malone 5th all-time. This list also features Harden at 13, Hakeem at 19, Steph all the way down at 27, and Isaiah Thomas at 65. This Reddit user went through the trouble of creating an entire model from scratch to achieve the goal of, as he put it, quantifying careers using a formula that combines accolades with simple advanced stats while compensating for era and benchmarking, plus adjusting the weights of the formula against approximate expected rankings using least squared regression. In other words, he used a whole lot of stats and accolades, made some applicable adjustments, and put together an all-time.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie for a second. I don't know what the fuck that nigga was talking
results
about.
came in, and people hated it. The glaring flaw in this method, as well as every other method that
Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Tim Duncan, Bill Russell, Shaquille O'Neal, none of those niggas are better than Kobe Bryant. Kareem has a case. Kareem has a case, but I'd rather anybody in here. Anybody. You would rather have a dominant guard than a dominant big man, my nigga. That's always been part of his. Like, I'm not gonna say that.
the objective.
If you pick a dominant big man over a dominant guard, man, that's on you, bro.
Even concrete things
That's on
like
you.
stats and awards will
Dominant big men, even dominant as much of a dominant big man you are, you need a guard to set you up. You need a guard to set you up, no matter what you do. No matter how goated Kareem was for the sky hooks and shit like that. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was not coming down 90 foot, 100 foot, fucking, and just going into the post. And nah, he needed Magic Johnson. Some of these niggas pass him the ball to the post as he sets it up.
Off of opinion.
A guard don't need all of that. A guard could do it all by himself.
What is a championship worth, and how do you factor it in? Should there be an air tax?
I factor that in a lot. Trust me.
If there is, when does it no longer apply? The
Kobe
80s,
won more
90s,
without Shaq than
is
Shaq
peak
won
more
without
important
Kobe.
than longevity, or is it the other way around? Even awards themselves, like
It's crazy how Kobe is
MVPs
the too. Another thing, Kobe's the only nigga that gets diminished for playing with another great compared to everyone else. His rings don't count, but everybody else does.
Are voted on
And
by
they've all
people
played with
their
greats.
own personal bias. Creating some sort of formula involves
LeBron, my second
attributing
favorite player
value
of
to
all
all
time,
of these
nigga.
things, but
And
without
that nigga has
any
had the help
impartial
of
method of
death.
weighing all of these
He has
factors
every
without
player in
injecting
history.
some sort of personal bias. The pursuit of creating a perfectly accurate ranking becomes virtually impossible. So what if we just
Why that
remove
nigga
the
AI
personal
look strong as
bias?
shit?
What if we strictly use data and numbers, two important factors that have no bias, to make a completely accurate and nonpartisan all-time ranking? Well, because the rankings get really weird really fast. For example, box plus minus.
But you just can't let AI do these things, bro. AI is like, look at this shit.
As far and away the best player of all time. It also has Luka Doncic 4th, David Robinson 6th, and Tim Duncan 19th. But
bro, what?
Jokic, as far and away the best player of all time. It also has Luka Doncic 4th, David Robinson 6th, and Tim Duncan 19th. But
look at the stupid ass shit. Niggas love using plus minuses.
And when used in conjunction with one another, a purely data-driven approach could lead us in the right direction. And this is what Ben Taylor of Thinking Basketball did back in 2017 when he created his top 40 list. As Ben says when describing his methodology, I won't attempt to balance Kobe's championships with Shaq, nor do I care about accolades like all-star teams or the number of Hall of Fame teammates someone played with. I also don't care about how many rings a player won. The very thing I'm trying to tease out is who provided the most lift. Instead of trying to assign value to things like rings and MVPs, Ben's list ranks players based on who provided the largest increase in the odds of a team winning a championship over the course of their career.
The players who have provided the largest increase in the odds of a team winning championships over the course of their careers. Well, aren't those odds generated by certain people? Like, who can I think of right now? Damn, Nah, I don't want to take too long
Ben's
of it.
specific method
Can't even
and
think of it off
reasoning
the
is
top of my
probably
head.
the best out there when it comes to seeking an objective ranking, using the best advanced metrics available and using them logically to find the most accurate conclusion. The results of this experiment were eventually updated in 2022 and are generally accepted as a really solid list without the outliers or massive holes that other lists have. The only problem is, this is not an all-time player ranking. As Ben stated, this list is a player evaluation, not necessarily a ranking of the greatest players of all time. And it's evaluating how good these players were, their abilities and their effectiveness in using those abilities, not how great they were or
Well,
what
how will
they
you be able to?
accomplished.
How will you be able to
Players of all
determine those
time.
things or
And
even
it's
rank those
evaluating
things?
how good these players were, their abilities and their effectiveness in using those abilities.
Because I just seen the list. You have Kobe at 12. The list is already wrong. Like,
Not how
literally.
great they were or what they accomplished. A great exercise in determining which players
There's no
have the
ifs or
largest
buts about
impact on the
that.
court, but not
Kobe's
the best
literally
method in
a
determining
top
how
10
that
player of all
impact
time.
actually translates
He's not 10.
to
He's
tangible
literally
success.
at minimum
For
5.
example, this method is providing evidence that Karl Malone had a larger statistical impact than Stephen Curry over the course of his career, but I'm not sure if there's a single human being on planet Earth that would
even
argue
believes
Karl
that.
Malone is greater than Steph is. Using purely statistics and data to rank players
Karl Malone is not
removes
better than Steph
valuable
Curry.
context that certainly matters when evaluating how great they were throughout their
Fuck the championships, my nigga. Karl Malone is not better than Steph Curry. What the fuck are we talking
However,
about?
allowing awards and achievements to partially dictate rankings will inherently skew the result.
And then the accomplishment, what I hear about the accomplishment and the achievements that these niggas try to use, like the MVPs is one of the things that matters the most, is that these things are voted by media people, where they go in there with biases, they go in there with a certain, how do I say, not expectations, but a certain degree of what they're looking for already. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't take away people's biases from doing these type of things. You know, for how long, nigga, media was against Kobe Bryant throughout the whole entire 2000s. Fuck, they didn't like that nigga like that until that nigga started proving everyone wrong. That's when the Kobe love came in crazy.
Due to personal bias.
We all love
and
Kobe,
variance
nigga,
of
but a lot of
opinion. So
the media
looking at it through
was
either
not fucking with that nigga.
of these lenses will lead you to inaccurate results. But
And a lot of it
maybe
has to
looking
do
at
with
this through the
outside
wrong
court
lens
shit. Like,
altogether.
not
We
even
as
on
fans
court
are
things.
going to be biased. It's the very nature of being a fan. My team's great, and they can
MVPs,
do no
all
wrong.
types of shit.
So if we need to
They're
factor
all stupid as
everything
shit, the
in,
way
but
they
we
those
cannot do
things are
that
voted.
without inserting some sort of bias. What if instead of trying to
LeBron should have more MVPs. Giannis should have more MVPs. Jordan should have more MVPs. Kobe should have more MVPs.
remove all bias from the equation, we factor
By a
this
mile,
bias
they should have
into
more
the
MVPs.
equation by asking fans what it is they value most when ranking players. If the accuracy of the rankings is determined by the fans,
Shit, to this, I still don't believe Jokic is the best player in the world. I think it's Giannis. Bro, Giannis has been the best player to me since like 2020.
then so should the criteria. Well,
Boy,
that's
that nigga averages 30. That nigga averages almost every season 30 and 13, 30 and 12, 30, 13 and 6. And niggas treat that shit like, oh, just another year for Giannis. Okay.
what
And they
this
already got
user
tired of
did.
voting for
Back
that
in
nigga, bro.
2020, an NBA fan
But shit
on
like that's what ruins niggas' careers. And then they use shit like that 10 years, 20 years later and make it seem like Giannis was not really that nigga.
took it upon himself to survey other NBA fans. 600.
Yeah, yes, Jokic has a better package offensively than Giannis, but that doesn't stop Giannis from having the same numbers as that nigga Jokic. And what difference the difference is crazy between them niggas when it comes from defense. It's not even in the same, bro. Just like, come on, let's just stop.
To be exact,
I
but
take
not just
defense
what's
really serious.
important to
Like,
them in terms of greatness.
You would never hear me really jacking heavy one of my favorite players and has no defense in it. Nah, gang. No, you gotta be able to play both sides for me. Nah, you a god on offense, nigga, but somehow, some way you come down and you gotta be something. They gotta hire you or put you in the bench because you can't play that much defense. Niggas is hunting you down. The fuck out of here, nigga.
Even
Lock
what
the
kind
fuck
of
in,
fan
bro.
They are. Among some of the questions
Lock
asked
in.
were, how long have you been watching the NBA for? The most popular answer was 6 to 9 years. On a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a fan of the NBA are you? Over 80% of the results being at least an 8 out of 10. But here's where things get interesting. One of the questions asked was, what do you think is more important in a player's career? Team success or individual success? 52% of voters said team success and 48% said individual success. Almost
success.
an even 50-50 split between NBA fans in response to a very important
The thing, I'll say team success just because individual success, yes, you're gonna have the numbers. Like you could put up all the numbers in the world, right? But it's still all the way up to the voters, the media, how you're being portrayed, how those things are gonna impact the awards that you are going to get. Shit, it even happened with Russell Westbrook, averaging triple doubles for 4 seasons in a fucking row. That boy only got 1 MVP game.
question with 2 very different answers. Even more revealing, voters were asked what are the top 3 most important measures when evaluating who the greatest of all time is. The number 1 answer, career stats, followed by number of championships, number of regular season MVPs, total win shares, and career advanced.
Career stats first, 69. Championships second, 66. Well, 67. Number of All-Stars. Total win shares. Career win rate. What the fuck is this one though? The 15%. Which one is that one? I don't know.
Statistics. The near 50-50 split between the importance of team success versus individual success visible in the almost even voting split between career stats and number of championships. One person can make their rankings based on how good a player was, meanwhile another person could make their rankings based on how much success a player had.
I think both going. To me, you gotta use both, and I don't like how people try to use something to overtake the other this heavy. I feel like team success and career stats, they're like 50-50 for me. I use both, bro. I use everything.
So
I use
exactly
context everywhere, bro. I'm
I'm
not one of those niggas. Oh, fucking. And our niggas try to use. Oh, Curry has the same amount of championships in LeBron's era, so that Curry means that means Curry's better than LeBron. But you don't talk. But see how white and black that simply is. Nah, use context, gang. What happened throughout those years? Why you think Curry got those fucking championships? Let's not act like there's a fucking 7-foot monster that went and helped them to overtake LeBron, nigga. Yeah, needed that. If it wasn't for that 7-foot demon, nigga, LeBron would have won like three championships in a fucking row in that era.
If we can't even agree on what actually matters, or at least what matters most. No matter what approach you take, no matter
how Giannis only has 1 ring too, nigga. But niggas try to talk down on Giannis because every season, ever since the championship, they haven't done good in terms of going deep in the playoffs. But y'all don't bring up the fact that almost all his teammates have been fucking injured every single time. Drew Holiday got traded. He got injured one season, tried to come back, wasn't enough because most of these niggas were still injured. How all his teammates are old as shit.
How much personal bias or opinion you try to take out of it, the results will always end up skewed in some sort of direction. There's just too many factors, difference in opinion, difference in what matters most from fan to fan. But there is one way, one method that has been
there's nothing you could tell me Magic Johnson is better than Kobe Bryant.
Proven to be the best way to get to an accurate conclusion about things otherwise not agreed upon.
It's crazy how that nigga Magic got all his chips with that nigga Kareem, and they don't use that against that nigga. But Kareem was considered the fucking GOAT before Michael Jordan, and they don't use none of that shit against Magic.
Scientifically backed method.
Sure,
it's the exact one. Bleacher
Magic better than Kobe. Man, in what fucking world, nigga? I wish that nigga would be in the same league together, bro. Kobe would literally average fucking 80 on that nigga.
Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire right now.
It was a game show where contestants would answer a series of multiple choice questions, with each correct answer winning them more money and progressively getting more difficult until the eventual $1 million question. Now, this game show would feature one sole contestant at a time who had to answer these questions by themselves. However, each contestant was granted what were called lifelines, tools the contestant could use to help them answer difficult questions. These 3 lifelines were 50-50, eliminate 2 of the 4 options in a multiple choice question, leaving the contestant with a 50% chance of getting the right answer. Phone a friend, where the contestant could call a friend live on the show for help. And the third one was Ask the Audience, where each member of the audience would vote on what they thought was the correct answer to any given question. All of these lifelines were valuable,
Okay.
but one of them in particular resulted in the correct answer far more than the others. The 50-50 lifeline, as the name suggests, got contestants to the correct answer about 50% of the time. Phoning a friend resulted in contestants getting the correct answer 66% of the time. But asking the audience resulted in the correct
how
answer
much people there are there?
92% of the time. By far, the most accurate method of coming to the correct answer for any question in the show's history. And this is a demonstration of a concept known as the wisdom of the crowd, an idea that refers to the collective judgment of a group of people often being more accurate than the judgment of any single individual, even an expert. And it is an incredibly accurate method of arriving on the correct answer to any logical question. In 2011, the BBC network put this concept to the test by
I would listen to NBA players before I listen to social media niggas talking nonsense.
filling a jar with jelly beans and asking 160
niggas that play
contestants
these
how many
actual
jelly
players
beans they
before I
thought
listen to
were
some
in the
niggas just
jar.
straight looking
The
at stats
answers
and being
were
biased.
absolutely insane, ranging from 500 to 50,000. And yet somehow their collective average was unbelievably close to the actual number. After conducting their experiment, it was revealed that there were exactly 4,510 jelly beans in the jar. The average guess among all 160 participants, 4,515. Despite their variance in answers, on average, the participants were able to get within 99.9% of the correct answer. By aggregating the opinions or estimates of many individuals, the errors and biases of individual judgment tend to cancel each other out, leading to a collective result that is closer to the truth. And in possibly the most roundabout way I could conjure up, I think this same exact concept can be applied to ranking NBA players on an all-time list. Regardless of what the individuals value most and our own personal bias, if you ask enough people, chances are you'll more than likely end up at an accurate result. Better than strictly using stat-based metrics, better than the eye test or a combination of multiple factors. Simply asking people who the greatest players of all time are will show you exactly who the greatest players of all time are. And evidence of this can be found within the results of Bleacher Report's ranking. Someone ranked Kobe Bryant 18th all time. Their personal top 100 ranking is probably a little wacky, but this vote inadvertently balances out someone else who voted Kobe 4th all time. Same goes for every single player on this list. Someone had Jokic 12th all time, another voter had him 28th, and everyone else had him somewhere in between. The range of votes for Charles Barkley are probably the largest of any player on this list, with one vote for him as the 18th greatest player and another with him as the 74th greatest player. With individual rankings like this, you'd think the final result would be a mess, and yet Barkley ended up being ranked 25th all time, right about where he should be. Can we make a completely accurate ranking of the greatest NBA players ever? Well, we can get really close. In terms of how we would create it and what it would look like, you're looking at it. This isn't a matter of opinion, it is a statistical principle. As Bleacher Report put it when describing their methodology, it's an impossible task, especially when confronted with the reality of comparing players from different eras. Stats help, but calculators won't ever figure.
Oh nigga, did I just watch this nigga's video just for him to end up saying he did all that looping around, bro? Circles all over the fucking place, just to end up saying Bleacher Report list is accurate to all of us.
But asking enough people just might.
Yeah, delete this video. Yeah, the fuck is he talking about, my nigga? Bleacher Report. I'm not. Jimmy Howard, I fuck with you, my nigga, but get this bullshit out the air with, my nigga. You're looking at it, nigga. We're looking at straight garbage, nigga. That list is dog shit, literally pure dog shit. But I'm out though.